press release, a full press release from the Middlesex District Attorney's Office. And this really just gives some details into that initial shooting of the MIT police officer, that he was a campus police officer found shot in his vehicle in the area of Vassar and Main Streets. According to authorities, the officer was found with multiple gunshot wounds when he was then transported to Mass General Hospital. That's where he was pronounced dead. Authorities launched an immediate investigation. Of course, we know that this went well into the evening and still continues right now here in the early morning hours. And they determined that 2 males were involved in this shooting. This is what this press release says. We know now that one of the males is deceased and that they continue to look for that second suspect. This says that a short time later, police received reports of an armed carjacking by these 2 men in the area of 3rd Street in Cambridge, that the victim was carjacked at gunpoint by 2 males and was kept in the car with the suspects for approximately a half an hour, and then that victim was released at a gas station that we've been talking about on Memorial Drive in Cambridge. He was not injured. That person was not injured. Police immediately began a search of the vehicle and were in pursuit of that vehicle into Watertown. That's where we are here. We're told that vehicle down the street. At the time, explosive devices were being reportedly thrown from the car by the suspects, and those suspects exchanged gunfire in the area of Dexter and Laurel Streets. We're still hearing reports that is a very active scene. That's about 275 yards or so down the street from where we're standing right now. During the pursuit, an MBTA officer was seriously injured and transported to the hospital. We also had that information. During this pursuit, one suspect was critically injured, transported to the hospital. As we know, he was pronounced dead, and an extensive manhunt is underway right now. The case is being investigated by state, local, federal authorities. And we also know, as we've mentioned, that the State Police Bomb Squad is assessing and removing any potentially explosive devices that may have been thrown into the street by these Watertown suspects. And we're still waiting on further word right now, but that's the latest information from the Middlesex District Attorney's Office. Bill, that's what we have.
Okay, Molly, thank you. That's good information, too. Molly, really appreciate that. Mark Furman.
Is this one suspect number 1 in the black cap, we believe it said Bridgestone across the front, is reportedly dead. The other believed to be suspect number 2, white hat, still on the loose. Police now on the hunt. They say a man in a black T-shirt, armed and dangerous. Police calling a suspect a terrorist a short time ago, and, quote, came here to kill.
And this all started just before 11 o'clock last night when a MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology, campus police officer was shot and killed after responding to a report of a disturbance on campus.
Yeah, and he was apparently shot and killed in his vehicle, we're hearing from local police. Then a short time later, police responded to a carjacking event at a convenience store, and that led into a massive chase onto the streets of Watertown, and that's where the 2 suspects reportedly began throwing explosive devices at police officers. We are hearing that these guys are armed and extremely dangerous, although one is now dead at a local hospital.
2 extraordinary things have happened. Mike Tobin overnight and Griff Jenkins overnight were able to get in the mix of the cops as they went after these suspects. Bill Hemmerich quickly scrambled to the camera.
It's true that suspect number 2 is on the run and has come to this location or somewhere in this area of Copley Square. He would have to have gone a long way. But Boston police came up to our location here on the curb a moment ago and said, have you seen anyone in a black T-shirt on foot? We believe that person, suspect number 2, has made his way back to this area where we are. That would be a criminal who returns, a terrorist who returns to the scene of the crime.
Is suspect one?
We don't have the names at this point.
Is suspect 1 consistent with the suspect 1 in the FBI?
This is an ongoing investigation. We can't get into details on the descriptions of the suspects or the names. We're trying to get information out to the people who live here that they should stay in their homes and not open their doors unless police officers are there.
Keep their doors locked and not allow anyone inside. 1 suspect dead, 1 on the run. Mike Tobin is near the scene in Watertown, Massachusetts. And Mike, clarify one thing if you can. We have an image of a person being handcuffed and led away by police. Just confirm with me, that has nothing to do with suspect number 1 or number 2. Can you confirm that?
Well,
It may be a little strong to say it has nothing to do with the suspects, but what I did see out in the neighborhoods there is someone who was walking out in the streets, getting anywhere close to the police. The police were very skittish. The police were very serious about getting them off the street. So quite possibly this could have been a third party who was uninvolved, just got into the wrong place at the wrong time. Police bound him up, took him away. We'll see how that was, as described by the police here, and by what we saw was someone who was shot out here in Watertown. With our own eyes, we saw the ambulances racing off to Beth Israel Hospital, and now the information we have through a number of sources is that individual died at Beth Israel Hospital, or it was at least pronounced dead there. The other second individual is suspect number 2, the person we've seen now either originally identified in the white baseball cap turned backwards, subsequently identified by police here today as wearing the gray hoodie. You've seen those images come up. So you're talking about 2 individuals, both of them either accounted for dead or at large. So you wouldn't have a third individual who was taken into custody. My suspicion right now is this is someone who just got into the wrong position, and the police out there just bound him up and took him away.